Young FBI agents prepare for their training exercises in Quantico before they are left to deal with real criminals. The movie begins with a girl, Sarah, sleeping in her car parked on the road at night. Suddenly, she is woken by the arrival of her partner, JD. Both of them are FBI agents and have to solve a murder mystery. They head towards an isolated house in the forest to look for two missing girls. As soon as they reach the door, they hear the girls screaming, and before they can call for backup, they decide to head inside the house. After searching the house for the suspect and the missing girls, they find them dead in the basement. While they try to figure out what happened, Sarah calls the control center and informs them that the situation is secure. All of a sudden, the killer attacks them from behind and kills them as well. At the same time, the lights of the house turn on and it is revealed that all of this was a part of training to prepare Sarah and JD for mysterious investigations. Their trainer, Jake, who is an experienced agent, comes out and reviews their performance as incompetent. He tells Sarah and JD that they made a lot of mistakes and have to realign their focus more on their task to become competent investigators. He tells them that they are only supposed to tell the control center that the situation is secure after they leave the crime scene. The next day, Jake meets the group of students he is training and tells them about the last phase of their training. The group is made up of Bobby, Vince, Nicole, Sarah, Rafe, Lucas, and JD. He travels with the group to an island off the coast of North Carolina on a helicopter to complete their final training exercise. At the last minute, they are joined by Gabe, who is appointed as an observer of Jake's teaching methods and has no role in the training. As they land on the island, Jake tells his group that the Navy uses this island to train for hostage rescue and outbreak scenarios, and it features several target dummies, vehicles on mechanical rails, and small-town storefronts. He also hints at his plan to use the island for their final training exercise, the Puppeteer, in which all the trainees have to identify the victim and track a serial killer. After that, Jake leaves. The group settles down and relaxes a bit before their final task. Each one of the 8 trainees has outstanding skills. They practice their profiling skills and share their reason for being part of this training. When the trainees ask Gabe why he is here with them, Gabe doesn't answer them directly. He notices all of them and tells them about their shortcomings. It is also revealed that Gabe is also a skilled profiler in his own right, and this makes the trainees suspect that Gabe is the serial killer they have to search for. Later, Sarah is seen sitting alone outside. Lucas joins her and they briefly bond over losses in their families. Sarah's sister was murdered and drowned years ago, and that created a fear of water in Sarah, while Lucas lost his parents when he was merely 10. The following morning, Sarah finds a dead cat hanging from the ceiling in the bathroom. She calls her group members and they have a broken pocket watch showing the time 10 o'clock in the cat's mouth. Unable to interpret its meaning, they ignore it and continue with their investigations. After they look around the town, they find a girl's dummy hanging in a storefront, which indicates that the victim of the murder is a girl, and have to search for the serial killer. While they investigate the dummy, they hear an alarm, and a gas tank full of liquid nitrogen, mislabeled as helium, leaks, and JD dies after it freezes him instantly. Initially, the trainees think that JD's death is fake and part of their training, but soon they realize that it is neither accidental nor part of their training. The group decides to quit their training and heads to the dock to leave the island, but suddenly, the boat explodes before they can board. The explosion causes Sarah to fall into the sea and Lucas saves her. Unable to understand what is happening, they doubt that Jake is planning all of this to kill them. After they return to base, the group finds another broken watch and it shows the time stuck at 12 o'clock. After some time, Sarah digs out that there is a real serial killer near them, who has co-opted the exercise and is hunting them down, and these broken clocks that they are finding at different points indicate that someone among them will die at a designated time. After a thorough search of the island, they conclude that the killer must be one of them as nobody else is present on the island. Initially, they suspect Gabe, as Lucas finds maps and documents of the island in his luggage. As all of them confront him, Gabe defends himself, saying that he is only here to observe him and is not the killer. The group refuses to believe him, but soon, they all pass out as they drink the coffee that had been drugged. When they wake up a few hours later, they find out that they had been drugged. Once again, they begin to suspect Gabe, but Gabe tells them that he didn't make the coffee. Coffee was made by Rafe and they find him dead with a slit throat and his body drained of blood. They notice that someone wrote multiple numbers on the glass door with Rafe's blood, leading the suspicions to return to Gabe. While the group is busy suspecting Gabe and tying him down with handcuffs, they find another watch. They leave Vince to watch over Gabe and start decoding the numbers written on the glass door. They figure out that the numbers indicate the speed of light, and Sarah digs out that they need to turn off all the lights. They switch off the lights, but the lights in the room where Vince is watching over Gabe do not turn off. The wires of some lights fall on the floor and the water pipes start leaking. Gabe hurries to save Vince, who is confined to a wheelchair because of his disability, from being electrocuted by switching off the power supply. When the other group members watch Gabe save Vince's life, they stop doubting his innocence and accept him as their group member. Still, they notice that the room is being filled with water. Lucas asks Bobby to turn off the water pipe, but as soon as he turns it off, an arrow hit him out of nowhere and he dies on the spot. Terrified by Bobby's death, they again try to figure out a way off the island. At the same time, they notice that there are alphabets written on each one of their jackets. These letters were written on their jackets while they were unconscious. Sarah deduces that the traps that are being set for them are based on their strengths, talents, and weaknesses. The remaining group members start investigating to find any clue left by the serial killer. They collect several samples and add them to the computer system along with their DNAs. The computer results show Sarah's name and all of them shift their suspicion towards Sarah. She insists that she is being framed, but nobody believes her and they tie her down. Gabe asks her what is her next trap and who is to die next, but Sarah refuses to be painted as the killer. Another group member, Nicole, becomes anxious because of this situation and goes out alone to smoke a cigarette. But she becomes the next one to die as the cigarette she smoked was laced with acid and burns her whole face. Now, only 4 group members are left, including Lucas, Vince, Sarah, and Gabe, and they start suspecting each other. At the same time, the island speakers start broadcasting a taunting message from Jake, who says that they were brought to the island for training but instead they started to kill each other. This message makes the group realize that Jake is on the island. Convinced that Jake is the killer, Sarah, Lucas, and Gabe start searching for him, only to find him and the bodies of 2 other agents dead in a hidden storefront. Jake has been strung up to wires from the ceiling and the group members watch the footage of him being shot by the killer on the screen. The 3 of them turn on each other with their suspicion. On the other hand, Vince is left alone at the base. He has an empty gun and to reload it, he heads towards the freezer where dead bodies of other agents are kept. He takes the gun of one dead body and reloads his gun. However, as he tries to return, he suspects he is not alone there. As the elevator opens in front of him, he blindly opens fire but soon dies when his gun backfires on him. Back in the storefront, Sarah, Lucas, and Gabe are still suspecting each other. As they leave the store, Lucas and Gabe get into a fight and point their guns at each other. Sarah hides herself in the bus and Gabe shoots Lucas. Gabe searches for Sarah but she escapes from there. Sarah returns to the base, where she finds Vince's body, but soon Gabe ambushes her. Sarah points her gun toward Gabe and asks him who he is. The 2 of them fight, believing the other person is the killer. Gabe overpowers Sarah but Lucas comes to her rescue. Lucas and Gabe get into a fight, but just before Gabe is about to kill Lucas, Sarah eventually recovers and hits Gabe with a fire extinguisher on his head. Sarah is happy to see Lucas alive and helps him get stable. With Gabe subdued, Lucas expresses doubt to Sarah that there is enough evidence to prove that Gabe was the killer. Sarah, however, reveals to Lucas that she found a way to get one step ahead of the killer. Knowing that the killer was strongly relying on time, she changed the clock time after Bobby's death to appear slow by 15 minutes and covered it in a powder that glows under the backlight. She was sure that the killer would not be able to resist setting the clock to the correct time and the powder would stick to his fingers. She grabs a black light and checks Gabe's fingers for powder but finds no traces of it. She then notices Lucas's fingers and checks them to find powder on them. Sarah gets shocked after learning that Lucas is the killer who killed all of them one by one. He was not killed by Gabe's shot because he had been wearing a bulletproof jacket that helped him survive. He was the one who was setting all the traps and he was the one responsible for the explosion at the boat. He intoxicated everyone in the coffee and each of the traps was smartly planned by him. He always wanted to be credited for his smartness but was treated as an average agent. Lucas also confesses that his parents did not die in an accident, but he was the one who killed them. He is a psychopath who was in search of more thrilling targets, so he joined the FBI and planned to kill his fellow profilers using his smart brain. Now that Sarah knows his truth, Lucas tries to kill her by drowning. Sarah finds a gun in the water and manages to kick Lucas into the water and shoots him dead before he can kill her. At the same time, Gabe recovers from his wounds. The next morning, Gabe and Sarah reach the coast of the island. In the last scene, they manage to flag down a US Navy helicopter to leave the island alive. If you liked the video, make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to help the channel out. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.